Hi, it's Hazel. Welcome to my channel. If you are a current subscriber, thank you very much. If you are finding me by accident, I hope that you choose to subscribe. I want to remind you too that giving a video a thumbs up counts in the YouTube algorithms formula thingamajig, as does commenting and sharing. So I very much appreciate the support that you've given me thus far. And of course, it's always a moving target. Anyway, this is another thrift haul video. And you may be thinking to yourself by now, how much more stuff does that woman actually need? Well, need is one thing, want is another. All of these items came from a place that sells the merchandise by weight. So you may see some items with, it's an arm of Goodwill. Some of these items you may see some price tags on, but all that means is that they didn't sell in their regular retail stores, and they've now gone through this, I don't know, maybe for lack of a better word, clearance center. So, you know, as luck would have it, Murphy's Law is that sometimes the stuff I pick is kind of on the heavy side. But anyway, let's get to it. This feels like a full box, or very close to full box of address labels. Sorry, these are 4 inches by 1.5. And as part of my 100-day project series, I will be doing a video on these sorts of Avery type products. So I won't say anything more about this now because it gives you a reason to tune back in. Hey, method to my madness, baby. Next I have, I guess, 3 patterns, sewing patterns. Again, really didn't need them, but for a crazy moment, I thought, hey, I could sew that. But then when I had a closer look at it a while ago, I don't think I'd be happy with those sorts of sleeves. Yeah, so that's probably not going to happen. But as you know, I did a video, and as have others, on what you can do with sewing patterns. And in mine, I tried to show you how you can use every single component, from the envelope to the tissue paper to the instruction sheet. And so this will just join my other patterns. To be honest, I don't really know what this is, but let's open it. Some sort of a journal, I guess. Okay, Darphin, Paris. A unique collaboration celebrating French craftsmanship. Nicolas Auchenier's calligraphy drawings of Paris exclusively for Darphin. And I guess that's him there. So, little pencil. Oh, so there are a few illustrations in it. I thought I saw another one at least. Okay. So sort of a Paris street scene with the bistro tables and so on. And of course, it's not Paris if you don't have the Eiffel Tower in there somewhere. Cool. Pencil. I guess a person could do a little research and find out more about what this actually is, or who this guy is, or whatever. Okay. This is in pretty good shape. I mean, this corner maybe could use a little TLC. but it could easily be repurposed as a journal cover, and it's got obviously some blank pages in here that do seem to have a bit of yellowing along the edge, so that's a bonus in itself. Now, I'm not sure what this is, but I grabbed it because it's big, it's paper, it has grease stains on it. It looks like plans, instructions for different wooden, looks like assembly instructions perhaps for some kind of stuff. And I mean, it's gigantic. This, I'll try to show you. So it is huge. I cannot tell you medium. I wonder if that could be Italian. I would guess at Italian. Oh, Roma, Italy. Hey, can't fool this kid. Coloring for mindfulness. This is kind of a, you know, like I have said before, it's not a video unless I measure something. So this one is 11 and almost 11 and a half by 8 1/4. So we know automatically that these would make signature pages. And yes, and they're two-sided. So I'll just add this to the batch of coffee and tea dyeing stuff that I have to do. Of course, it would be good, but I think it would take a fair bit of setup. Like if you've been watching my videos lately, you know that it's been very windy here. It is tinder dry. We have, I think, something like 25 out of control wildfires burning in the province. So I'm not sure how I would, I've never done this outside, how I would do this outside so the papers aren't blowing all over the back 40. Now, these sorts of folders, I think we've all seen in doctors' offices, and they must, I mean, I don't know what the, oh, maybe that's like 2000, no, can't be 2018. Anyway, I have no idea what these numbers mean, but you know, you've seen them in those lateral files where you have all these things sort of sticking out. So I just grabbed a few because I thought numbers, cardstock, yellowing, that's always good. And there were, of course, some other file folders. Oh, there's somebody's name on that. What is this? 1985. Oh, this sheet is taped down to the, that one isn't. Okay, so there are some plain ones. I guess we weren't that concerned about people's privacy back in the day. Let's just turn those names down. There's another name. Oh, this is, oh, that's right. This was a kind of an art printer that I picked up. Can you see that? That looks Italian to me as well. Luciano. Oh, I guess the water and the gondolas are a good hint as well. Anyway, so just more file folders in a variety of colors. So let me get this out of the way. Oh, and final on this pile is, oh, sorry, upside down. A 1998 Death by Chocolate calendar. So you know how I love these sorts of thumbnail images. So those can all be cut out and used. And of course, there are these gigantic photos that, and the paper isn't all that glossy, that could become envelopes or signature pages or who knows what. So, yeah. Let me move some of these things out of the way. This is a photo box, and it's in good shape. You know, I guess the design is fine. But I also have been saving these sorts of boxes because I think they would be a great way, you know, again, obviously if the size is right, to use them as a presentation system for journals. So this one has a nice wide, the height is wide enough that it would be kind of a nice sized, you know, so a person could probably have, you know, 1.75 inch spine in there, and it would fit really nicely. So that, again, goes to a pile of things to do. I grabbed this envelope. It was the only one of its kind, because it's one of those interdepartmental ones where you address it to somebody in a certain department, and it just goes around, and they keep using it. I don't have this kind. I don't have any of these, so, and I don't know if I needed this really, but it had these page protectors in it, so I use those periodically as well for storing, you know, fussy cuts or whatever. I grabbed this Scrabble game because I collect the letters. I also have several of these boards. Haven't figured out a good use for them other than, voila. I think I showed you this before. I glued this together. Oh. Yeah. So in case I'm ever having an identity crisis, I can just look up and say, yeah, Hazel. Anyway, the letters are great because I have a, I can't remember if I used a Dremel or just a teeny, like 1/32 electric drill to make holes in the corner. And, you know, obviously then they can be used as charms. So that's why I got that. And again, no cost other than whatever it weighs. I think the price per pound is something like $1.25. Now this added a bit of weight to my purchase, but who doesn't love real wood? You know, sometimes in a studio or, well, in our lives in general, we have a lot of plastic and a lot of sort of unnatural things around us. So sometimes there's just something to be said for good old wood. And this is acacia wood, which I have some of these types of items in my home, and they come from the Philippines. I know it says suitable for dry food only, but because these things, I don't know, what can you see here? All of these three have different compartments. I thought they could very easily be used, you know, as a portable thing to bring small items, you know, to wherever I'm taping or wherever I'm working. So that was the thinking there. I am not sure what this one is used for, but I wasn't about to leave it behind. I know that when you see something in this shape in a ceramic, it's intended for olives, but hey, if you know the answer, clue me in. Okay, whoa. I grabbed this. It is roughly, okay, how wide is my mat? My mat is about 17 inches, so this is, say, 15 inches tall and about 14 inches. No, that can't be right. 15 inches. Oh, I'm measuring the height twice. So, yikes. This is 11 inches wide and 15 inches tall. And of course, this is the sort of thing that's right up our alley. The colors are such, the imagery is such, and I noticed that it has this IKEA thing on the back here. Oh, could it have been 1999? That's a long time ago. Anyway, I might have a plan in mind for this, and if not, I mean, it's one of those neutral things that it could hang in anyone's home just as easily. So I grabbed that. Another thing that I took, it's really light. It's probably like an earring, like a jewelry tree or something, or maybe a mug holder. I know that for a while I was hanging all of my, well, not all of them, because you need so many hooks, but you know, things like this. So I don't know, I guess I'm going to, when I can see the surface of my desk again, I will have to decide if the real estate that this takes, this base is almost 7 inches. So that's fairly big, but you can see that it can hold several items as well. So I will, you know, again, it's not a big ticket item. So I will figure out how best to use it to, you know, to have it make sense. Now, before I get to some textiles, I'll show you a few small items. I said in a previous thrift video that I'm in the process of putting together playing card packages that will have a variety of playing cards. Some virtually mint. I don't know what shape these are in. Mint. They don't look like they've been played with. To others that are very clearly worn and old and grungy. Now these are, is that Italian again? Veronazza. Yeah, those are definitely Italian names. And what is his back? I don't know. That's the extent of my Italian. Anyway, obviously those little scenes there are pretty cute. I guess this represents the different seaside towns, structures. And then this is an M&M's one. So these two look brand new. Oh, I guess that's a face card. That's the king. Anyway, so now that I have shown you guys these, I will be able to start incorporating these into my kits as well. So there's that. This is just one of those things, those promotional type things with, this is just a notepad, with these flags and little Post-its, so you can always use those. There was this wooden box with a pen and pencil set. Have never been out of their plastic by the looks of them. No idea if this is still good. I mean, if they haven't dried up. Where is that piece of paper? Oh, this is a mechanical pencil. Well, of course, a pencil always works. Doesn't have any imprinting on it. But it's burgundy, so I like that. Oh, could be a problem here. Well, I had a 50-50 chance. The pencil is fine. This thing needs a refill, but I don't think that I would ever bother replacing it. So we can throw that out right off the bat. Okay. Now this is, I'm not sure what it is. It covers in not great shape. It's got these Asian characters all along the bottom. And of course these symbols, I don't know, you probably can't see them because it's quite faint. But again, it's, oh. Kind of a to-do list, I guess somebody started there. Isn't it amazing how so many of us have started books and have, you know, written a few pages or a chapter or two, and then usually, quite often in thrift stores, you'll see where someone has ripped out very unceremoniously or cut out a little more neatly the first few pages that were used and donated the rest. And of course, people like you and me snap them up because we know what we can do with with it. I don't understand why this cover is in such sad shape, but again, that's for another day to figure out. Okay, to be honest, I don't know really what this is, other than it's got a nice decorative design. You can probably see it's very shiny. I don't know, you know, the symbolism here. It almost looks like a hunting scene or something. But this is the cool part. This comes out all the way out, and it's got more designs inside and out. And I just thought that was kind of cool. And I guess I don't have to know who it's for or what it's for, or who I don't need to know anything about it other than that could look cool on a shelf with some of my other decorative little boxes and so on. Now this just looked kind of interesting, but it's only now that I realize it says templates for polymer clay, paper, and more. So what the heck does that really mean? They're called Shapelets, 2001. And okay, your template includes both the frame. Oh. Snap apart the template pieces. They're sized to store confidently in a business card, file, or folder. The most frequently used portion of the template is the frame, but the actual shape works beautifully too. Clean it after each use with window cleaner or soap and water to prevent inks from transferring onto your artwork. Oh, so you can use it on clay. Now let's see, why did they say it could be used on paper as well? Okay, so basically it seems as though, so these can actually almost be like little mini stencils for paper. So this was obviously intended for clay that needs to be baked. Well, I'm glad that there's some pretty decent instructions there. Anyway, this needs a little bit more time and attention than we have right now. So I will put it back in its packaging. This is what grabbed my attention, so. Sorry about the rustling. Oh dear. Maybe I'm a bit punch drunk. I applied to work on election day. We have a provincial election coming up at the end of May. And today was training. And of course, there was a whole online component to do before that. And so I did that last night. I was never one of those kids in school that left my assignments till the night before. But because it's such a busy time, that's how it worked out. So I spent several hours doing that last night, and then another four or more hours this afternoon. So I'm surprised I even know my own name. That's another reason for this, for days like that. Anyway, I have some interesting fabric to show you. Now this is some sort of a garment. It's very tiny, teeny tiny. But I love this combination of gold and gray, silver, whatever. So there is much to be harvested from this thing. There is this lovely, where's my ruler? This lovely, almost 7-inch border here. These individual medallions. Another little border around the sleeve. Now this one is 2.5 inches. This gold piping around the neck. And there's some darts here. Piping around this side, what do you call these? Side slit. And inside is this, kind of muslin-y, fairly sheer. You can probably see my hand through there. Lining type fabric. So I just wish, now maybe these things were handmade, because I've never come across any of these items with any, tags showing the fabric composition or care instructions. It doesn't smell bad, so maybe I shouldn't even be worrying about how I would wash it. But there's more. Look at this. So now you can see that there is damage in places, but there's also a lot that can be salvaged. Oh, what a fool. I was showing you the back side. My goodness. I shouldn't do videos when I'm tired. That is the back side. This is the right side. So this border looks narrower. But again, all those medallions. Now this is, there is so much of this here. Now, let's see if I can kind of fold it and get a feel for yardage. Okay, this is it folded in quarters. So, trusty little cutting mat. So 20, this is, okay, this is 22 inches, so we got 88 inches of this, plus, well, this border is around all the sides, so clearly there's a lot of this. So I think probably what I'll do is once I have a chance to maybe do some research on the care, figure out a way to cut this up, because clearly I am not going to be able to use this all myself, and find a way to share it, and price it attractively, and figure out postage and all of that. I should also take a moment to say that with my Etsy shop, just because in the beginning I think a person is fairly overwhelmed, like there's so darn much to learn about the whole process of making the journals, and videotaping, and YouTube, and doing digitals, and setting up an Etsy shop, and doing the listings, and like I have to say, it's a pretty steep learning curve. And in total, like for a total reality check, it is impossible, I believe, for anyone to do it all at once and all to the nth degree. So I think that's why quite often in listening to or watching other people's videos, you hear even some of the people who have been at this for years and are well established and have tens of thousands of subscribers, and are successful by practically any measure that you would use, are saying, well, I just haven't had time to list it. I just haven't had time to get it into my shop. Well, that's exactly how I feel. But I don't have all that success to go with it. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that I thought it would make my life simpler if I just limited my physical items to shipping in Canada. Because I can, go to the post office in my little town. And when I say little, I mean like under 400 people. So I can go to my little post office and find out, okay, if I put this in this size of a thing, and then I usually pick a faraway place like Halifax, which is at the other end of the country, what would it cost? And then try to figure out, do things in that way. So all of this takes time, and figuring and calculating, and no one wants to go through the whole effort of doing all of that if you sort of price yourself out of the market, or if on the other hand you lose money on every sale. Like, that's not any way to stay in business. So I think we all walk a fine line, and anyway, that is my little spiel. So I love this, and I think that others would as well. So it's just up to me to make the time and find out a way to make this work. And I guess I also should look into the idea, figure out how I could do that, say with shipping to the US, because obviously that is another big potential market. So I don't know. I guess I have to ponder that and figure that out for myself. Anyway, I have more. Now this has gray in it as well, and gold. I don't know if this would have been part of the same thing or not. I almost think not, but then what do I know? But you can see that it's got these very vibrant red flowers. It's got this kind of sheer fabric. It's got well, rickrack seems kind of unlikely, to be honest. But anyway, it's got this chiffon area. It's got this braid. It has these sort of striations in the in that center part. And again, can you see all this? There is a lot of it. So it's one of those things where I would probably be, opening up this corner seam, undoing this mitered corner, and maybe looking at, selling a length or what. I don't know. I just don't know. But these things could also be cut out, on a bigger scale, like square it off in some way and sell the pieces that way. So we'll see. But first of all, obviously, I need to do something with some of this stuff for myself. Now, I'm going to pause for a moment so that you can get your sunglasses on, because this is going to razzle-dazzle you. Oh, what is this? A bobby pin? Yeah. What is this holding together here? Anyway, you can worry about that later. Look at this, people. And again, I guess people donate things when they're done with them, when they have some damage or some wear to them. But there is plenty here to salvage anyway. So there's this beautiful burgundy, and you know how I love burgundy. Gold, these sort of jewels, these purple medallions, this braid in multiple layers, this hot pink. It almost feels like, well, I'm sure it's not velvet, but it feels like it. This sheer red tulle with some gems on it. And again, oodles. Oh, the side has just 2 rows of the gold braid. And of course, then the other side has the wide design again. And let me just have a quick look around. I think that is it. I'd say I did fairly well. So thank you so much for joining me. I will remind you that I'm still working my way through the 100-day project. I won't bother guessing at what day it is because I don't know when you're going to see this. I know I'm somewhere in the mid-60s, day 60. So, slowly but surely getting there. It has been a wonderful process. It's been, it hasn't been without its challenges, but it's also been a wonderful process. And I really would say to you that if you haven't in the past tried, the heck is this? In the past, if you haven't tried a 100-day project in the past, then I would encourage you to try it. Pick whatever topic or whatever project, angle, technique, supply, tool, whatever parameters you want to set for yourself, or leave it wide open, because there's some real benefits to doing it. And I think one of the biggest ones is discipline and regularity. So there's that going on, as well as every Sunday I upload a video with the hashtag what's in my bookcase. So if you've been watching that, to be honest, I don't know how many episodes there have been. I know that the most recent one that you will have seen, or that has been posted, was, I wanted to say oh hell, but I didn't. It's called Let's Judge a Book by Its Cover. And basically I just brought a cross section of covers together, from the old, and just samples. There's certainly not everything that I could have included. The old Reader's Digest books, like from the 50s and 60s, the ones that had those good covers. to embossed ones and gilded ones and you name it, leather ones. So, you know, and I've also taped a bird one. So I think a lot of people might be interested in that one as well. Let me just warn you, there are a lot of field guides, but there are also some other beautiful books as well. Anyway, I will stop talking and let you go because I'm sure you want to get at some crafting of your own. So thank you so much for joining me. Again, if you find value here, please subscribe. Please give me a thumbs up. Please comment. And I know for a while there I was saying, oh, and let me know where in the world you are. And I appreciate those people who did do that. And I try to remember. And another thing I also appreciate is if your name, if your YouTube handle does not indicate your real name, I wish that you would sort of sign it with your first name, because hey, that's how we get to know each other. And I much prefer to be able to say, hi, so-and-so. Thanks for watching. Thanks for taking the time to write and whatever. And sometimes I just can't tell otherwise who you really are. So anyway, that is it for today. Thanks for joining me, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.